Hey, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Good morning. I feel like we
Yeah.
have morning voice.
Oh my gosh. Whatever. Morning voice, night voice. Let's
Oh
go.
no, but it's such a difference. Isn't that weird? Like when you wake up, your voice sounds so different.
Yeah, we were deeper.
I know. Yeah. Oh yeah, very deep. Oh my gosh, in school, like weren't we known as people who had deep voices?
Yeah, especially me. I don't know about you, but I was.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like a guy has told you that before too.
A nun hit me one time, told me I had a deep voice because I was trying to sing. She's like, "You're a deep voice." I think we told that story
Yeah.
before,
Yeah, we
but
did. That was funny. How was your weekend?
it was chill. It was a lot of, spending it with my husband's family. We had his mom's birthday and, a
Aw.
gathering. So, yeah.
I need to text her. When was her birthday?
Oh, yesterday.
Oh, wow, you should have told me.
Okay, whoa.
Well, me and her have like a really good rapport. She really likes me.
Yeah. She likes, like, your personality, how, like, you are
Yeah.
stuck up. And I'm not, which is weird because you would think the opposite probably.
Yeah, I swear. Isn't that so funny? That's true. Um, yeah, like it's me and Chantal have been trying to record this morning and I've been waiting for my middle child to wake up because I want to like distract her before. And of course, the day that me and Chantal are recording in the morning, she's not up. So there's that fun stuff. She's gonna
Maybe
come
she
in.
had fun. What did you guys do? You guys went to the pool yesterday and stuff?
Yeah, we went to my husband's family's house and they have such a beautiful backyard and a beautiful pool. And I'm just like, oh, this is so nice. So that was nice. And they're exhausted today from it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're not awake.
Roxanne and I are so, like, in love and hate Jersey at the same time that we literally watched it last night, and then we're going over to someone's house again today to watch it just to have, like, a gathering, but it's more for, like, the jokes and the fun, but
Yeah.
we're like,
Well,
"Okay."
it's crazy because so we have like this group that we talk to, and one of the guys in this group is obsessed with Melissa.
Yeah.
And he intentionally bought an envy hat and like sent
To
it
piss us
over
all
to us.
off.
Yeah. And all of us are not. We're all like, What?" And it just him, he is, and he does it on purpose. So it's so funny. So today, yeah, we're gonna go there just to like shoot the shit and talk about the show and we'll watch it again. But it was such a bad episode.
I know, it's, like, not even a great episode to, like, rewatch
I
because to me it was
know.
so bad. It's so, 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 so bad. It's, like, not even edited correctly. Like, does that even make sense? Like, I just
Well,
feel like it's so choppy, so, like,
yeah.
weird, like, it doesn't flow. That's how I just feel about it, but
Well, so here's what's interesting for those who don't know. We talked about this on our Patreon, but there was a scheduled 13 episodes. And up until like last week it was supposed to be 13 episodes and they've already edited so much out that most things don't make sense or things didn't make it, and they last minute within the last week changed it to 12 episodes, so there's only now 2 episodes left, and there were supposed to be today there were supposed to be at least 3 more episodes left, so they even cut more stuff out. Then you see the previews for next week where it's like a sleepover that I have zero interest in watching, especially if the
seriously.
star of the show isn't on it. That's just not fun. But honestly, it's a good thing because you're looking at it and it's like whether you like Teresa or not, her scenes they just like they land more. So when she's not in it, like the first 40 minutes, like she wasn't in it, and you're like, this is like really, really boring. So
It was a lot of Danielle t today or last night's episode, and I'm
yeah,
just
and
like, "I
that's not
can't." Like,
good.
it's not no one
Like
wants
I
to watch her
forwarded
family,
her
no offense.
I know her family doesn't land. I forwarded the Kids Bop thing that was, like, from the early 2000s, like, how is that even still a thing?
I know, but it is, like, they do concerts and stuff now, like, I think they
Oh
just had
my
a concert here
god.
in Michigan, and it was, like, cute
Oh,
for the kids, like, you take your kids outside and you have, like, they sing, like, those, popular songs. I feel like they're making a comeback.
okay, I don't know, I haven't heard of it. Oh my gosh,
I
I just
know, but, like, that's like
sorry.
I'm saying, like, they just had a concert, so I'm like that. So I was like, "Oh, maybe they are," because then now I hear it from this and then that, so
Yeah. Okay, so Tim Hortons coffee always, like, lands really well. I just drink black coffee, and right now it was the most bitter coffee ever, and that never
oh,
happened, so I'm really sad. Okay, anyways, so, I mean, let's kinda get into the episode, but
yeah.
you guys, I don't know. All I know is, New Jersey needs a new production crew. Sirens Media is not working with New Jersey. I think it's been so toxic for so long, and I hate to call them out because, like, it's their job and stuff, but they truly really failed this season. They knew that this was gonna happen if they brought everyone back. They still did it, and they brought the worst season. This season is worse than the season with the twins, and that
Yeah,
tells
the
you
season
everything.
the season, like, right before,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
it was the
so
worst.
bad. Yeah. But we're seeing a lot of Melissa's family in this episode, and another thing that isn't landing, it hasn't landed the years before when they try to bring her family. So just knowing how toxic Melissa's family is with how involved they get on the show, how they, will like and comment the worst things about Joe's sister, like anything that involves Teresa. These people have commented, like said the dirtiest things possible, and I don't want to watch them knowing that that's like what they do. And anyways, like no offense, like, I don't care at all about Donna Marco, like, one
Yeah,
bit.
Donna, Marco, and Margaret have so much in common, so they just need to go.
Yeah, I don't yeah. What do
I'm
they
just
have in
saying 'cause
common?
I'm just saying 'cause they're so old, but
Oh
people are
my
gonna come after me.
gosh. Yeah, wow, yeah, people definitely are going to.
Um,
Um,
no, I know,
yeah,
I agree, like, even when I mean, like, the one thing I will say, like, I mean, sometimes it's, like, like, it's interesting to, like, listen to, like, people dating at that age, like, I do kinda sometimes like to see that because like, you don't hear about it often, but, like, yeah, like, I think with her and her, like, little martini and or whatever she does, and it's like, "Okay, guys, get off the screen, I don't
I
care." It's
it
like,
just
doesn't
well, because what else would Melissa film then? That's
I
why, so
know.
she's, like, bringing her family in because Antonia's gone, her boys want nothing to do with the show, so it would just be her and Joe. Joe's not interesting unless he talks about Teresa, so it's like, "Okay, let's bring my family," but what's so crazy, you guys, is that Melissa truly believes, like, her family is like the Kardashian of the housewives.
I
Like, she
know.
thinks that her family is it. And it's like, they're not. I get you love your family because guess what? I love my family so much. But like the outside world, they are not invested, nor do they love your family. And if they did, your family would be on a lot more from previous seasons.
You know what's funny is that did you catch, like, how Donna went to Joe's size? She's like, "I wanna sit by Joe, he gets me more." So it's just so funny how, like, Joe really, like, rides her.
Yeah. I mean, but like, I feel like that's how my mom is with my husband.
Oh, yeah, she really does
She
love your
totally prefers my husband over
yeah.
me, so, and it's because my husband is the type where, like, I get, like, annoyed and he's like, "If this is how a person is, you just need to accept it and roll with it," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, like,
So,
really, like, honestly, like, great for all the in-laws on the show because like, look at Nate and the dad, it's so crazy how, like, you become that
yeah,
person for your significant other.
yeah, yeah. So Melissa talks the fashion show and how she put a pause on the fashion show, but conveniently she wants to do it now that they're filming the show. And I just think she does this a lot. For example, every year she throws a 4th of July party, and they're filming every year for it. But of course, this year they didn't film. So guess who didn't throw the party? She didn't. But it's also the same shit every year. If you watch Beverly Hills, if you watch Orange County, Atlanta, they don't have the same reoccurring events. Like I throw a July. The only thing that they have, Kyle Richards does that annual white party, and it is literally a different theme, scene, everything. It's not at the same house, same food, same vendors. It's none of that stuff. So with the Real House of New Jersey, they tend to, especially like a Melissa, tends to do the same things over and over again. And I'm over like watching a fashion show, unless it was Kim D's. I preferred Kim D's. I really liked hers. And it's because you knew that like everyone was gonna come and the drama was gonna be insane there. But I just think it's so funny that of course this year she didn't throw a 4th of July party.
Oh, yeah, that's a good catch.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with dry lips, I have the solution for you. It's City Lips. I posted on our story the other week about how amazing this product was. Roxanne and I both have an obsession with not having dry lips and making sure we have something on them at all times. And this was the best summer discovery. I got the summer peach color and it just kept my lips so plump and hydrated. I think clear would be amazing too. So if you just put on a little lip liner and you throw on the clear, you'll have the best full smooth lips. So if you want fuller and plump lips with City Lips, shop citybeauty.com. Get 15% off site wide with code TRH. They also have a 60-day back guarantee. So if you didn't like it, you can always go back and return and say, I didn't like this, but I promise you guys will love it. Again, I got the summer peach color and I got the clear, but you can go on their website. They have about over 10 plus colors. So I'm sure you'll find something that goes matches with your skin tone. And yeah, promise you'll love.
Margaret and Dolores hang out, and in Margaret's confessional, she says she doesn't think Dolores believes the BS that Jackie said about Margaret talking or shit to Jackie. And I 100% believe without a doubt that that Dolores does think Margaret has no loyalty to no one and that Margaret does talk shit. But I just think that Dolores will play nice.
Yeah, I think just as much as, like, Dolores plays or we think Margaret plays a game, or
Yeah.
Dolores yeah, like, Dolores does too, like, Dolores knows.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I don't blame her because I do the same. Dolores is a loyal person and she's friends and hanging out with someone, so she's not thinking that that person is gonna then bring up things and, like, remember everything that happens in the conversation. And Margaret is dirty, so I'm sure Dolores has said things to Margaret because they got close at one point when they were even hanging out outside of filming when they were both or actually Margaret's never been single, but her husband's so irrelevant. But when Dolores was single, and so if I was Dolores, like, no matter what, I mean, no matter what with any friend, like, I don't want them to air my shit out ever. So I'm gonna try to play nice with them if I know that they're that type of person and I see that pattern with them.
Yeah, and I think like you said, like, I think Dolores probably did, say things to her that she shouldn't have
For
said.
sure.
So, like, and it's
It
because
happens.
Mhm.
And Margaret says she has never said a bad thing about Dolores. She swears on her children. Again, no one believes it. Margaret then says she was upset when they hung out at the reunion with Teresa after. Then Margaret owns that she probably did say that if Dolores was with David, none of this would happen. But she literally swore on her children 5 minutes ago that she's never spoke bad about Dolores.
Yeah,
Or
and,
yeah,
like
about Dolores.
yeah, and then, like and also it's like, what does that even mean? Like, why are you trying to make it like Dolores and Teresa are not even friends all of a sudden? Like, they've known each other for 20 years, and now, like, oh,
Right.
like, if you were David, you never hang out with Teresa. Like, they've all hung out before. They've been
And
friends
of
for a long
course,
time. So,
Paulie prefers fucking Teresa and Louis over Joe Bonino. Like, even Joe Gorga prefers that, but he's stuck and you guys all use each other. I mean, no offense, Joe Bonino is not someone that many people can hang out with.
yeah, it was just so interesting watching this friendships conversation about like calling each other out because it does seem like that their friendship is way more deeper than we see because like why would Margaret feel so inclined to like be like you shouldn't hang out with a friend that you've known for 20 years.
Yeah, that's shady a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
It's very shady. I'm sorry, it's very shady of Dolores and it's shady.
Yeah, I know.
And, like, it's also, like, it also just goes to show you, like, this is how deep and far it's gone that, like, that Margaret feels the need to try to take Dolores from that side as well. It's like, "Okay, this is not how
I'm
we do the
over
Real
it.
Housewives. This is not, like, let's get everyone on one side and, like, let's X out people."
Yeah, I'm so over it.
Yeah, and, like, just like Roxanne always says too, like, we hate when people go after one person. Like, if someone
Yeah.
all of a sudden just all went after Margaret next year, I think we wouldn't like it either.
I know, I swear I really wouldn't. I don't like that. It would probably make us kind of like her in a weird way or, like, feel, like,
Yeah.
protective over her because we do hate that. Um, Danielle is excited that Melissa is inviting her backstage at her Envy fashion show. Danielle is a type who uses people. Right now, Melissa has a boutique. That is Danielle's goal. So she'll use Melissa to get all the tea on how to do that. Then Danielle says she's annoyed that Teresa isn't having her back, which Teresa has been very cordial with the whole, Danielle Jennifer thing. Also, Teresa doesn't even have a long history with Danielle like she does Jennifer. It's really weird how Danielle expects that from Teresa, but I think Danielle was just over Teresa and excited about Melissa at this point. And Danielle is a certified victim. She says no one goes to bat for her. But at the end of the day, Danielle talks to no one in her life and thinks everyone else is the problem.
Yeah, no offense, like, you've known Teresa for 2 seconds,
I
and you're
know.
lucky that she even came to your event to support you after what you just did to her friend who literally rides for her. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're seeing Jennifer get mad at Teresa all of a sudden, like, and it's like, you're lucky she's even wanting to talk to you at this
And
point.
Danielle's never ride for Teresa ever. So where's your loyalty, sweetie?
You
Like
guys
you're
have
like
been
that's with
1
Melissa.
season with each other, you guys just
Yeah.
met.
I know that they had Teresa introduce Danielle though, but you know how they do that.
Yeah, I know.
I literally do not care to hear about Danielle's family issues. If we're not hearing from Danielle's family to hear their side, I don't care. It's giving I'm using them for a storyline, and I hate when we hear just that side, and it keeps being a reoccurring thing every episode.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that too, it's not just us, like, everyone just keeps saying, like, "I don't wanna hear about
I don't.
her
It's so
her brother, her dad." It
stupid.
makes no sense, like, if they're not in there, like, if we're not seeing,
Yeah,
like, from Nicole from Miami, like, she had such problems with her dad, but then we saw her and her dad sit down and try to work it
exactly.
out. We saw her dad on the show. We try to see resolutions, and it's, like, stupid if we're just seeing one side.
Yeah, and then we're hearing that, like, Nate is having conversation with the dad. But again, it's not like we're seeing or hearing the dad, and you can tell the dad absolutely wants nothing to do with the show.
Yeah,
He
because the
did it
brother
last
probably
season. Yeah.
yeah, the brother probably was like, "I don't want you on the show. I don't want you guys talking about me." So
No,
the
I
dad was
don't
like
think I don't think the brother asked the dad, I don't and said, "I don't want you on the show." I think he has been very adamant about, "I don't wanna be spoken about," and the dad knows his daughter, and the dad knows that if he films, Danielle will bring up the brother.
yeah, yep,
I don't think the
exactly.
brother's sitting there and saying, "Dad, you can't go on the show." I don't think
Yeah,
that
but
at
I think
all.
exactly like like you said, like he was probably, "I don't want you guys to talk about me," so then he knows, like, "Let me not go on the show to start problems with my son."
Yeah. It's so awkward to see Teresa talk about this podcast event when this whole time Melissa Pfeister was the biggest snake talking crap about Teresa behind her back. There were a bunch of text release of Melissa Pfeister talking like terribly with trolls, and the trolls were also talking terribly. And Melissa Pfeister was just completely engaging in it throughout all the way as far as October, just talking horrible about Teresa. And as you can see when you watch Teresa. Teresa raves about Melissa Pfeister. She never said a bad thing about Melissa Pfeister. She thought Melissa Pfeister was this great person. She said that she was a great Melissa. And can you imagine what Melissa Pfeister is doing right now watching that? Like
Yeah, it's so
I
awkward.
ruined I ruined a podcast because I was talking for hours on phone calls to trolls about Teresa and about Louis, and all she did was rave about me and give me this flat platform. But I was so jealous of her and so jealous of her fame that I would just talk crap about her behind her back, even though she really thought of me as such a close person.
Yeah, it really is such a shame, and it's so crazy because like, you really did just get this big platform now to, like,
Yeah.
promote this podcast, and now it's done so.
I know, but again, everything happens for a reason. I mean, Teresa's writing for that podcast, wearing a Namaste Bitches shirt on every episode. But guess what? Now Teresa has a podcast that lands so much better because her and Melissa Pfeister never had a connection, and she should have never given Melissa Pfeister that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
So Jennifer Aydin had balls going to Melissa Gorga's Envy fashion show.
I know,
Um,
like, by herself too.
yeah, I know that is so ballsy. When Danielle talks about Jennifer, it's just so toxic. It's giving Jersey Shore, even lower than Jersey Shore. Danielle is on the wrong show. Like she is a very toxic person. She's very tacky.
No, 100%, we know.
Yeah, it's so bad and it's not landing because it brings a wrong message to the show. It brings like this is not the type it brings Bad Girls Club energy, and that is what Danielle should have been on. Danielle should have been on Bad Girls Club. She would be perfect for that show.
The one thing I wish, like, when it comes to the fashion show, when we get to the scenes, it's like, if you're such a fashionista, like, why aren't you talking about the clothes and the designers you buy the clothes from? You know, like, shouldn't that be a point? Like, I remember
She's
even,
an
like, Kylie used
idiot.
to do this, and it's like saying, like, "I went here to get it. I have this designer." It's like, you should be talking more about the
They're all from
designers.
Amazon, Chantal.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, and then you have this fashion show, and then you're like, everyone's like, "I'm wearing Envy tonight." It's like, no, you guys are wearing a shirt from, you bought it from Envy. It's not,
Oh
you're
my
not
gosh,
wearing
that is the
Envy.
most wild thing is that they'll be like, "I'm wearing Envy," when it's literally like, no, this is like the actual brand, you know? It's
Yeah,
like
like, it's like, what is the brand, you know? Like, she's probably doing what sometimes other boutiques would do, which is, like, blind labeling, where, like, you would buy a shirt or something, and then
yeah.
they'd put MV on the back of it, but still, it's
Well, it's
so
like when we went to
crazy.
that boutique and we went to that boutique recently and the dresses were like Runway the label.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
actually had the brand
y-
on there.
well, but it's not like we're gonna say, "Oh, I'm wearing this boutique." No, I'm wearing Runway the label. Like that is what I'm wearing. So it is super fucking weird because they'll be like, "I'm wearing Envy," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know. So Margaret is so messy though. She asked Jackie if she got her dress from Envy, and Jackie's like, "No, I haven't been there." And Margaret's like, "Oh, she sent me, Danielle, and Rachel these dresses from Envy," knowing Jackie is sensitive and would get upset. Margaret knows what she's doing. Jackie does act over dramatic, where she's like over it and walks away, and I don't think she needs to do that. But Margaret knows what she's doing, and I think Jackie's just irritated that Margaret is doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, Jackie calls her out, and I think Jackie also knows, like, it's just another slap in the face. Like, this is why I'm like, trying to form these other relationships, because, like, look at how you guys treat me. Before,
Yeah,
this would never have happened, where I
yeah,
wasn't getting a call about wearing a dress from MV,
yeah.
or getting a little, like, envy, like, but Rachel Fuda is and Danielle is, and it doesn't make any sense.
We haven't seen Rachel Fuda this entire episode.
I know.
But you know what's crazy, you guys? And I know some of you guys are gonna look at me and be like, "What the hell's wrong with you, Roxanne?" I prefer to watch Rachel Fuda over Danielle any day.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? I really do.
No, I feel like I agree, especially after this episode. And then there was like another episode where it was more Rachel Fuda focused, and her family, and like I'd rather watch them than Danielle.
Yeah, I would too. It's so weird. Even Thirsty Fuda, I'm like, "Oh my
No,
god."
no, 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 please no.
No, over
I'd
Nate? Like,
rather.
I don't know. I just I do
Nate
Danielle,
is just so nice. Like he's just so like he's just like a follower. He's like so
he's
lost with his
such a
wife.
follower. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
can't. He has, like,
But like
nothing. He
how
follows
can we
whatever his
blame
wife.
that? It's like he loves his wife so much and like always has her back. So it's like
Yeah, but
he's a
again,
great
he's an
guy.
enabler. Like he's like I want like okay, I think it's very healthy for someone to hold you accountable, and
Yeah.
not enable your behavior. Like, yeah, your brother's the problem, your dad's the problem. Like you shouldn't talk, you should protect your peace. Like da da da. Like, no, I can't. Um anyways, so
Wait,
Dolores
did you I don't know if hold on, sorry. I don't know if I think it was more towards the end, but like have you noticed the way Fuda lips and like Danielle like interacts? I swear like they're always like
they're trying to act like they're boys.
yeah, yeah, uh-huh. They're always like
Yeah.
trying to kiki and stuff. And it's like, okay, this is weird.
It's so weird because last season, John Fuda literally like came at Nate about his wife. So it's a very, very weird. Um, Dolores arrives and Jackie asks Dolores if she's wearing envy. She's like, no. Then she explains how Margaret said the clothes comment. And look, again, like I said, Margaret knows what she's doing. Dolores thinks Jackie is oversensitive, and she is, but again, Margaret pushes her buttons. But Dolores is like, I don't know how the hell Margaret dealt with this person for so long. But
Yeah, I
Dolores
mean,
always couldn't stand Jackie.
yeah, Dolores just does not have that personality. She can't have someone that's needy. She doesn't like someone that's like an agger. She's never been that person to have someone that's very sensitive. Like
Yeah.
that can never work with her personality because she's
Yeah.
like almost just like get over it. It's not that deep. Like she's always that type of person. So it's like they could never get along in a million years.
Yeah. So I was confused here. So Jennifer comes in, Margaret says hi to Jennifer, and she and Rachel say how they reached out to her and asked how she's holding up. But Bravo doesn't even explain why they're reaching out to Jennifer. But then I'm like, oh, it's because of that fight with Danielle. But again, it's so choppy. Like production's doing the worst job ever because I was so confused and I was like, wait, did something happen to Jennifer's family? And I was
Yeah.
so confused about this because they're like, how are you holding up? And I'm like, wait, I'm fucking confused. And Rachel like obviously doesn't like Jennifer, but then she's like had reached out to her, and I literally thought something happened to Jennifer's family because I forgot about this like fight, and the way that they edited it it made it sound like something else.
Yeah, and I wish they showed what they said, reached out and said. I wish like there was more context to it for sure.
Yeah, it's like oh my god, what are the producers doing?
Like
The producers
what's
want
their
this
side
season
on
to
it?
end. They want
Uh-huh.
this season to end so badly, you guys. They really do. But I fucking died at Jennifer saying she doesn't understand the concept of a fashion show when you aren't creating the fashion, and then pointing out that there was no male models, especially after like the rumors of the that guy with the cheating, and he was also the one of the male models at Melissa's old fashion show that was filmed. But
She's so funny sometimes. She
I
really is.
know. But I don't get that either because again, like you said, like she never points out the labels that she carries none of that
Yeah,
stuff.
like I think to have a fashion show every year, like it just like
She
ruins
doesn't do
such
it
a
every year. She only does it when
I
it's
know, but
filming.
I think I do get that there are boutiques like we have some boutiques here like that, like smaller boutiques. They'll have like a local fashion show, and it's just to get like people to come and shop and like get your name out. But
Yeah.
it just like the way that she makes it seem with her models and everything else, like she's literally like a Tom Ford, going in the
Yeah,
backstage doing
yeah.
a New York Fashion Week. It's weird.
But we barely see her in the fashion show. That's the hard part of when you're hosting or an event and you invite everybody. It's too much where you can't entertain like the show. You have to entertain everyone else.
Yeah, and that's when it was like a live event where like or
Yeah.
like a
Like
fan event, like people could come there.
yeah, like Melissa had bloggers there. Like she had brought like toxic bloggers that hate Teresa. She brought them to that event. So yeah, I swear I'm not just saying this, but this episode was so boring until we get to Teresa's part. And this is where, again, it's wild because Teresa says that she called Melissa Feaster the good Melissa. And then we find out that this Melissa is, in fact, worse than Melissa Gorga, which tells you everything. And honestly, though, everything happens for a reason because, Teresa is turning the tables with her podcast. I'll be honest though, like I told you guys, I forwarded the Kids Bop stuff with Danielle, so I don't know anything. I don't know what was said. I feel bad because I did that with Orange County with Tamara and the daughter scene, and that scene ended up being actually good.
Yeah,
So
that
I
scene
don't.
was, like, great, but,
Yeah,
like, no,
I'm
this one
stupid. Yeah.
had nothing you need to know about.
Yeah. It's so interesting seeing Jen Fessler on the side because she now in present day, not because of anything, just because of Margaret, she's acting like she wants nothing to do with Teresa and Jennifer and all that stuff. But on the show, she's obsessed with them, and you can tell Jennifer and Jen Fessler like love each other.
Yeah, they have a good vibe, so it's like that's a shame that they can't, like, carry that on
Yeah,
because of, like, loyalties and let's not do this because of this person, let's not do this because of this person. It's just such so
yeah.
weird.
I love that Dorinda came to support Teresa.
Yeah, that was so cute.
Danielle,
What was
oh,
the craziest thing is that, like, I think in her dressing room too is that, like, Teresa opens up how vulnerable she was about, like, she, like, is bringing God back in. Like, I think
yeah,
that's the
I
first
saw that.
time,
Yeah,
and it's weird because we're rewatching and she's always been a religious person, and we clearly know she took, like, she
step
went to, like,
back.
yeah, like, she went into more, like, Buddhism and, peace and who knows, but, like, it's so I love that she's, talking she was wanting to talk about
Yeah.
it because I think a lot of people go through that, like, where they're like, like, "God, why would you do this to me?" And then, like, you're kinda mad at him, and so that's nice that she's, like, bringing it up.
Yeah, there's always just so much, like, substance to Teresa's scenes, like,
Yeah,
there's just and that's why it's interesting, that's why people are so invested in Jersey because her life is like, she really lays it all out.
100%.
Danielle apparently surprises Teresa at the podcast event, and then they take, like, a ten-minute break, and this is where she says, like, she loves the vibe of the cathedral because it reminds her of the church, and she's bringing God back into her life, and Danielle is, shocked it didn't burn down with Jennifer in it. And she says that out loud, which I thought was so weird and tacky of her to do. Even Dolores was like, oh my God, because no one expected Danielle to talk shit at Teresa's event while Jennifer's there. Jennifer's like, good, show your true colors, Danielle. And Danielle's like, no, you are. And Teresa's like, I love you guys. I just want to fix this. And Jennifer is like, it's not happening. And Dolores is like, this is about Teresa tonight. Dolores is being a good friend here, and Jennifer is like, "No, Teresa, like, no, no matter what, we're not gonna make up." And then when Danielle walks out, she's like, "By the way, you look like shit," and it's weird. It's so weird,
Oh
and
my
it's
god, that, like, energy though, like, I swear, like, I would be just like Jennifer
so
too, like, if
toxic.
someone was doing that to me, like, I really would wanna rip their fucking head
She's
off, like, I
trying
would
to
wanna take
like
their hair.
what is that word when you're trying to
She's,
provoke?
like,
She
poking
really
yeah,
trying to
she's
provoke
poking the
her.
bear.
Yeah. She's just so not housewife material. Even doing that, it's just from her house to her lifestyle to everything. It's what are you doing? And Dolores gets mad because Jennifer after, just like anyone would be hyped up and be like, really, you want me to fix things with that rat? Like you want me to fix things with that type of person? You're good with that type of person? And Dolores is getting mad and she's like, don't do that. Don't talk to Teresa this way at her event. But it's like, Dolores, I wish you'd have the same energy when it comes to Margaret
Yeah,
and
literally.
Teresa. It's like I appreciated that. I do think that at the end of the day, Dolores and Jennifer will always have loyalty towards each other. But it's like I wish you would do that with Margaret. But also Margaret is the Tamara of Orange County. Everyone is scared of Tamara.
Yep.
Everyone is scared of what Tamara will say, so they step back or they try to move forward with her. And with Jersey, the same happens with Margaret, except Teresa's not. And like, look what has happened to Teresa's life. Like, look what has happened with like Louis and the ex being brought up. Look at all that stuff. So
It's like sometimes it's easier to be friends with these people than to not because it's like no one has time.
yeah, yeah. I listened to a podcast. It was the Bravo Docket. They're like a legal podcast, and they did an episode of Louis and his ex, and we've done this too before. But they're interesting because they're like the legal aspect, and they basically said like what Louis has gone through with his ex is horrifying. The only things I didn't like was when they talk about how Louis was diagnosed with anxiety and like depression or just like things like that, they would laugh at that, and I thought that was like kind of I didn't like. I was like, dude, if tables were turned and this was a woman and we were talking about a woman who was diagnosed with these type of things, then I feel like that's not a laughing matter. So I didn't like that, but I thought it was a very interesting listen. If you guys want to listen to that, just because legally it shows what a maniac, how what a sociopath Louis X is. So, and it's all like legal stuff, and it's so scary because Margaret hung out with this woman a couple times and brought this woman to the world knowing she's this crazy. And I guarantee, like what we've seen of Joe Gorga, even though Joe Gorga spoke to this woman multiple times, I guarantee he's like, damn, deep down, he's like, this bitch is batshit crazy.
Oh, he
He
knows, like,
fucking knows.
oh, 100% he does, isn't
Yeah,
that stupid?
yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that was the episode. When I saw the previews for next week, I almost cried because I said, "Are we gonna have to recap this episode?"
Oh my
I was like, "There's
gosh.
no way we can recap this episode. Like, this is gonna be so bad."
I'm so, like, not looking forward to it. Like, just give us a finale at this point, just take
I
it all down, just
know,
give us a
I
finale,
know.
like, what
You're
are we
cutting
looking for?
episodes. You've cut everything. It doesn't even make sense. Like, you've cut it all. So just give us the finale.
Exactly.
Um, but that's all that we have for today. And I have little
Well,
Miss
tomorrow
Sloan. Yeah. Oh yeah.
tomorrow we have our, interview with Peggy from, The Real House of Orange
Orange
County.
County.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then yeah, then we'll be back with an Orange County episode after this week too.
The interview with Peggy is good, even if you don't watch Orange County, it's just great when we hear from former housewives because they are not scared to talk about where, like, it's like, "I might get in trouble, I don't wanna talk about this." So they're actually just, like, really straight up saying how their experience was. So it's always interesting to hear an interview from a former housewife,
Yeah,
so
that's
get
our
ready
future
for
do.
that. Yeah, I love doing that, so get ready for that, but I think that's all that we have for today. Sorry that we didn't do it the night of, but again, Sundays are terrible for us. I was at my in-laws, like Chantel was at her in-laws, so it's really bad timing. And then my kids are
Yeah.
always so drained by Sunday night.
Yep. Bye,
So
guys.
I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk soon. Bye guys.